Miss Silverstein asked the class to draw a model showing 2/3 shaded. Carol and Deb draw the models below. Whose model is correct? Explain how you know. While looking at their models, I can see that Carol began to split her shape into thirds and shaded 2 of them. Deb has 3 diamonds that are also the same shape, and she shaded 2 of them. So Carol has shown 2/3 and Deb has also shown 2/3, and they are both correct because each of their pieces are the same shape. They are each equal. Oh, I'm really struggling. E are equal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's move on. Lesson 14. Draw a number bond for the fractional unit. Partition the fraction strip and draw and label the fractions on the number line. Be sure to label the fractions at 0 and 1. Okay, let's start with our number bond. So, we have to make it into sixths with the fractional unit. That's another fancy way of saying the unit fraction. So for in sixths, that means we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal pieces, and each fractional unit is 1/6. Again, I hope that your work looks much neater here in your Zearn packet at home than it does on my screen, but it gets the job done. Okay, now I can partition or split the number line and label the fractions on the number line below. So if we're at 0, I know I'm going to start with 0/6, and when we get to 1 or 1 whole, that's when I know I'll have all 6 pieces. So I can split that up here. And to partition or split, I'm doing my best to estimate equal pieces. I know it's not perfect, but here they are, and I could even, draw some tick marks on my number line below to show, because I'm working with our tape diagram. So putting it on the number line helps us to visualize this hole above it that we've split up. So that's why they end at 0/6 and 6/6, they're 1 whole. So from 0/6, this one piece tells me now that I have 1/6. I'm gonna keep changing colors so I can see. But there's another equal piece, and now I have 2/6. I'm gonna color another piece. Now I have 3/6. Okay, color another piece again. 1, 2, 3, 4/6. Watch what happens. I color in that next piece. 5/6, that leaves one more piece left, but we already know what it is because it takes us to 1 whole, 6/6. Crushed it. This big arrow tells me I need to move on. There's another question, probably double-sided on your paper. So let's scroll. You could turn the page. And number 2. Miss Metcalf wants to share $1 equally among 5 students. Draw a number bond and a number line to help explain your answer. Okay, so here's her $1, starting with a number bond. She wants to share with 5 students. So we'll split it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each student would get 1/5 of the dollar. That's 1/5, and that's 1/5. And you'll get 1/5. I'll get 1/5. They'll get 1/5. Perfect. Okay. Then I can draw a number line. So here's $1. We started with no dollars. And we want to share with 5 students along the way. So that would be the same as saying this is 0 fifths, and then this student you get 1/5, and another student gets a 5th, so there's 2/5. Another student gets a 5th. Another student gets a 5th, until everybody has a 5th of that dollar, and it's all spent. So what fraction of a dollar will each student get? Each student will get 1/5. How much money will each student get? Well, $1 equals 100 cents. So what is 100 divided by 5? That would be 20. Now we have to remember 20 what? 20 cents. So each student will get 20 cents. Write it like that, or you could write it as $0, 20 cents. Okay. I liked that question. Moving on. Estimate. To label the given fraction on the number line, be sure to label the fractions at 0 and 1. Write the fractions above the number line and draw a number bond to match your number line. Lots of things to do. So we have to identify 3/5 on our number line, which is so nice. They've given us these boxes. I'm going to use the top like as my fraction line since my pen's bigger here. So I am starting with 0/5 at 0. At the end, when I have one whole, I want to make sure that I have all 5/5. So I'm going to split this up equally. I'm going to partition it to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. And I'm going to label what I have. So I have 0/5, and then I look at this part, and that gives me 1/5, 2/5. So now equal parts. So now I've shaded 3/5. Here is 4/5. And that last equal part that needs to be shaded is 5/5. Gives me one whole. I'm going to go back and circle 3/5 because that's what we were looking for. We were working towards on our number line. And then I need to draw a number bond. So I can start with my whole, or where we ended, and I could do this different ways. I could use my unit fraction, or what I like to do, and I'm thinking you also did, what they're asking us to do is to use that fraction as our one part, right? So we split our fraction, our one whole, we split that into 3/5, which can be found here on the number line. And that leaves us how many fifths left? 2. 2/5 are left on the number line. And that is how we can show a number bond of our number line above. Okay, the arrow tells me to follow. So I'm going to scroll, scroll, scroll. And I need to partition the number line, then place each fraction on the number line. I need to place 3/6, 1/6, and 5/6. Okay, partition is just a fancy way of saying split it up. So I always like to just make sure I label 0 and my whole first. So 0 means 0/6, 1 means 6/6. And if you're thinking, hey, Miss Arnold, how did you know we're talking about 6? That's because I looked at their fractions I have to place on the number line. Their denominators are all the same, 6 parts to equal 1 whole. So I'm going to split this up equally. I'm going to partition it into equal parts. And it's not the number of lines I put on the number line that I'm counting, it's the number of equal parts in between each line. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this piece, this equal piece, is 1/6. And I could label everything, but I'm really going to try to concentrate on just putting the fractions on the number line that they asked me to. So 1/6, this would be 2/6, and then I would place 3/6 on the number line, 4/6, and 5/6. Okay, if you've placed, 2/6 and 4/6 on the number line, then my recommendation would be, as you're going through, to just circle the ones that they were asking us to label, so they stand out a little bit. Okay, awesome job, everyone. That is it for this video.